What's going on, everybody? My name is Aiden and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, Nikola Vucevic, over the course of, I think, multiple days, has come out and spoken in relation to the Chicago Bulls, in relation to his future in the NBA in general. And I thought this would be an interesting time to discuss it as we are in free agency still. We're heading towards the end of August, thank goodness. And hopefully with September coming around, training camp, preseason games coming around, we can finally get back on track and talk about basketball. But this is about Nikola Vucevic's future. What did he say? What is, I guess, the future looking like? And is there a chance he stays beyond this current upcoming season? But before we get any further, if you like the video and you want to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, and or subscribe if you are new, and let me know what you guys think about Nikola Vucevic and the future he may have with the NBA and with the Chicago Bulls. Is it a multiple year future here that we could be discussing, or do you think the likely outcome is, look, we kind of know he's staying this season, at least at the beginning. We'll see what happens during the trade deadline. Maybe we could get a trade for him, and if we don't, well, then he could move on in next season's free agency. So basically, I want to discuss what he said first. Essentially, he said he feels very confident that he will be starting the season out with the Chicago Bulls. Now, this is exactly what everybody has been saying. If we wanted to trade Nikola Vucevic, I personally think, I know we're very slow right now in free agency, but I personally think we would have done it by now if we really wanted to do it. So I'm not in the mood of hearing, oh, we could still trade Nikola Vucevic before the start of the season. I'm very confident. Super confident, unbelievably confident that we will be seeing Nikola Vucevic wear a Chicago Bulls uniform in training camp, in preseason, and at the very beginning of this regular season. And I don't think it's the worst thing in the world either. He's on an expiring contract. His salary will be dumped by the end of next season. We'll have some money to use on extending players and maybe potentially being, I guess, a team that could be a buyer, and we could go out and pursue free agents next season. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world, ladies and gentlemen, to keep Nikola Vucevic's contract around for another season. The second thing he kind of said was essentially not guaranteeing that he will be with the Chicago Bulls beyond next season. So the season after this, of course, he will be an unrestricted free agent. And he was basically non-committal to the Chicago Bulls in this sense, saying he will not necessarily commit to any team at the moment, and he's going to express and value his options, which is exactly what a free agent would say, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think there are many free agents, unless they're fully 100% committed to their team, come out and say that they are going to commit to their team. So this is clear he's not 100% committed to the Chicago Bulls beyond next season. And I think that's completely fine as well. He said publicly he wants to win a championship. He said publicly he wants to compete. And I've even heard that publicly, or maybe not him not saying this, but there's been rumors that he could go, I guess, into Europe after next season. And that could be a very big destination for him. The European scene in basketball is very big at the moment. And I think Nikola Vucevic will only make it even bigger. And I think he's a big, viable threat to go to Europe. He is European after all. So, yeah, that could be a very big possibility for Nikola Vucevic. But recently, there was a conversation in which Vucevic said he would like to win in Chicago and he would like to stay here. And if things change in Chicago, then maybe he could see a future with this Bulls team. And I think this is where Bulls fans are starting to panic a little bit because, look, I think Vucevic gets very much disrespected by so many people. So many people. They make him out to be the worst center in the league. And he's not. He's just not. He's not the worst center in the league. In fact, he's one of the best offensive centers in the league today still. Defensively, sure, you could say he's up there as one of the worst defenders in the league, but I personally think he's a very capable, viable option as a starter in this league still, and he's very much one of the better offensive centers that we have in our league today. And if he starts for the Chicago Bulls, it's very much well-deserved. I don't think we have a better option than him on this Bulls team, and I think a lot of teams could be saying something similar if he did join their team. You know, we definitely disrespect him a lot more than he deserves. But at the same time, I think the big reason why Bulls fans are panicking more about, people thinking he's the worst thing of all time, I think it's more about the age. 34 years of age, making $20 million per season. I think fans are more genuinely scared of what his next contract could look like with the Bulls specifically, and what that could mean for the future of this organization. A team that is trying to go younger and maybe pursue different center options, you would kind of, I guess, feel hard done by with the Bulls going with the same option. We've been asking for different options in that center position for a while. A lot of people just want an out-and-out rim protector. Someone just wants a little bit more of an athletic player that maybe could fit the style of Josh Giddey a little bit more. Someone might want a little bit more two-way capabilities. It depends on who you are and who you're asking for, but not everybody wants or sees, I guess, what Nikola Vucevic brings as enough at this point in his career, or at this point with the Chicago Bulls. I personally disagree. I think if we get rid of Nikola Vucevic, we need to find at least someone that can play make the way that he can from the center position. Someone that can make the right plays, is willing to find open cutters and all those things. That's the bare minimum I'm looking for if we're going to go for a different direction. I want someone that can play make the way that Nikola Vucevic can. But either way, I will say this. If he does re-sign with the Bulls, I wouldn't think it's the worst thing in the world, but it would depend on the money, because $20 million per season is just not going to cut it anymore. If we're going to keep Nikola Vucevic around, it has to be on a lot more team-friendlier deal. It could be a one-year extension as well. That could be a possibility with this Bulls team. But more specifically, I'm going to look at roles here, because Vucevic is good enough as a starter, and I think in 2 years' time, he'll be good enough as a starter. But the Bulls shouldn't be waiting and not looking to replace Nikola Vucevic. We should be going after potential replacements. We should be going after center help. We should be going after the next best thing for the roster. And that could very well be a center. And if we do get that center, we need to make Vucevic very well known. If we go down a direction where we pick a center for our future, then he has to be willing to participate off the bench from time to time. And if that is very clear, we've made it very obvious, and Vucevic is on board with all of that, I don't see this as the worst thing in the world. But more than likely, ladies and gentlemen, the outcome will be he's going to stay with the Chicago Bulls this season, be the starting center all season. I don't think he's going to get bought out unless he requests it, and he's gone next summer. I think that's what's going to happen. You know, I know he wants to win with the Chicago Bulls, but I don't think we're in a place where we can force a situation to happen where we're a win now team. I think it's more going to happen organically. And unless we just make massive strides this next season, I don't see the change that Vucevic wants happening. So it's very simple from that point of view. I just don't think he's going to be here in 2 seasons' time. And wherever he goes, I'll wish him the best, because I think he's very underrated and criminally disgraced by some Bulls fans out there. So it is what it is. Those are the things that have been said. Those are the rumors around Nikola Vucevic. Do you agree with them? Do you disagree with them? Ultimately, he loves Chicago. It's very clear. In all the interviews, bad or good, I've not really heard him say anything badly about the Bulls fans and about the organization itself. To me, that is a trooper sort of player. I think he's a trooper more than anything. He's a guy that will play his role and know what he needs to do out there, and he'll get it done for you. But at the end of the day, his future, I think, is limited here. And no matter what he says, what he's open to or what he's not open to, he specifically says something needs to change. He said if there's a change that happens, that's his words. Where is that change going to happen? How can we just simply force a team that's younger to win? It needs to happen organically. If we organically get to the playoffs next season, okay, bring him back. Why not? Let's go again. But if it doesn't organically happen, I don't think we should be forcing it, because we tried it. We tried it with him. We traded for him to force it, and it didn't work. We shouldn't be repeating the same mistakes. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care, and peace.